Welcome to the Toad and Timberdoodle Show. We're here today to answer the questions you posed to us on Facebook and through email.
Questions like, where am I? What am I doing here? What's for supper?
Oh, that's a good one.
What is that smell?
Another very good one.
What could that be?
Okay, they won't quite be like that, but we
Oh.
have some good questions for you.
All right, here we go.
Woohoo! All right, so we've got our turtle shell full of questions. These came from Facebook or emailed over to Brittany. Here's our first question. Does Iowa still have salamanders or mud puppies? Or as I say, mud puppies. And this is from Kathy. Now Kathy, yes, we do still have salamanders. And actually mud puppies are a type of salamander. Mud puppies are a threatened species, and it's an all-aquatic salamander. It lives its whole life in the water. But here's the reason you probably don't see a lot of them. They live a pretty secretive lifestyle. Now, if you were out and about in the spring when they're in their the breeding pools, you might be more likely to see one. But even our most common salamander, which is the eastern tiger, and he's found throughout much of the state and through a lot of different habitats. He likes timber and prairie and open farm fields. He likes a lot of different spaces. He just lives most of his life underground, and you're just not likely to see him. Some people who have really moist, old foundation basements, sometimes you'll find them in their basement, or you might find them in your window well, but they just live a secretive lifestyle. Also, you have to look at some of these salamanders we have are species of special concern. For example, we've got the blue spotted salamander. He's an endangered species in Iowa, so you're probably not going to see him. Smallmouth salamanders, you see them quite a bit around the southern part of the state, not very common in the north at all. The eastern newt, it is also a threatened species. The mud puppy, a threatened species. So we still have them. They're just hard to see because of their lifestyle, and also because they are some of them are endangered or threatened.
Okay, and our next question. This comes to us from Kai and Emmy. Do turtles really breathe through their booties? Thank you for submitting that question, kids. The correct answer is kind of. So fortunately, I have a turtle right here. I've been holding that for a while. And when turtles hibernate in the winter and they need to breathe, they don't breathe through their mouths anymore. They actually breathe through their cloaca. Too technical?
Cut.
They actually breathe through their posterior orifice.
Cut.
They actually breathe through their booties.
We'll stick with that.
Okay, very good. So what's happening here is instead of breathing through their mouth, they're hibernating, everything's kind of slower in their body. They're exchanging oxygen and carbon dioxide, what we do when we breathe, but it's just happening through the rear end of their body. So yeah, I guess you could say that turtles do breathe through their booties. Pretty cool.
And our next question from our turtle shell of knowledge. Yeah. From Mr. Schmidt's class, how many different kinds of birds are in Jefferson County Park? We have great birds in Jefferson County Park. Now, for my own self, I know that I have seen at least 146 different species in Jefferson County Park. There's probably more to be found here, but that's what I've seen in Jefferson County Park. Now, according to the Iowa Ornithological Union, there has been 247 different species identified in Jefferson County. That's incredible, isn't it? They don't all nest here. Some of them are just passing through as they migrate. So in Jefferson County, according to the IOU, we have 247 species. I've seen 203 of those in Jefferson County. And overall in Iowa, 430 species of birds have been seen. Once again, not all of them stay here, they just wander in and out. And we have 212 of those are nesting species in Iowa.
A question from the Turtle Bowl of Knowledge. This comes to us from Mr. Schmidt's class.
I don't know if it's Schmidt or Schmid. Do you know?
It's Schmidt.
It's Schmidt? All right, thank you for this.
That's
Okay.
another side question. How do you actually pronounce Mr. Schmidt's name?
All right, gotcha.
I think I'm right. Okay, the question is, what's up with all the black squirrels in Fairfield? We have 2 species of squirrels here in Jefferson County. What? I've seen gray squirrels, red-looking squirrels, and black squirrels, but we only have 2? How is that possible? I don't know. Actually, I do. This black squirrel is part of the species of a fox squirrel. Fox squirrels are a little bit bigger than the gray squirrels. So, in Fairfield, when you're seeing these big black squirrels run around with a big bushy tail, these are typically fox squirrels. They just have a little bit different fur color, a little bit different coloration to them. And it is possible for a gray squirrel to look black, have this black coloration to them. But here in Jefferson County, it's most likely that the black squirrels that you see running around are actually fox squirrels. So 2 types of squirrels here in Jefferson County, gray squirrel, fox squirrel. This is actually a fox squirrel.
All right, our next question from Jessica and Cindy. It's a duel. What do frogs do in the winter in Iowa? Do they migrate, Timberdoodle?
Oh, I've never seen a winged toad.
Nope, you don't see any on the side of the road going like this. Yeah. They don't migrate. We just talked about it. They hibernate. Now, if they are a frog like a bullfrog, which are very aquatic, then they are going to be hibernating in a pond somewhere. Now, they don't dig down deep into the mud like people think they do. If they did that and they spent too much time in the mud, they would actually suffocate them. They can go a little bit into the mud, a little bit into that, but they need really highly oxygenated water, and their whole system slows down, their metabolism slows down, so they kind of sleep through the winter. Sleep's not a good term though. Their pulse lowers and everything like that. So if the bullfrog, he's going to be in a pond somewhere, okay? Hibernating? Yes, hibernating. If you're more of a terrestrial type of frog like a toad is, and you're a pretty good digger, then what Mr. Toad's going to do, he's going to dig way down below the frost line, and he's going to spend the winter in hibernation below that frost line. And then below the frost line, it probably stays at about 50 degrees. So he can get down in there, gets enough oxygen, and that's where he'll stay. Now, some more terrestrial type frogs, like let's say a spring peeper, and I know he looks big, but see he's sitting on is that a dime I think he's sitting on?
A quarter.
It's a quarter. See that quarter? So a dime would be a tiny, tiny frog. So he's more terrestrial. And it's not a good digger though. So what he's gonna find is he's gonna find a deep crevice or a crack in a log or maybe in a rock, and he's gonna get down as deep as he can. If he doesn't have that option, he'll just burrow down as low as he can and into the leaves and mulch as he can. Now what's really cool about frogs is even though they may be someplace that freezes, like this guy might be someplace that actually freezes, it doesn't kill him. Because what he does, his liver produces lots of glucose, which is like antifreeze. And so his important organs are protected, and he may look dead, he may not be moving, but once it starts to thaw, he will emerge again. So because of that cool glucose thing they've got going on, their antifreeze in their system, and the different places that they use for winter, they can hibernate safely.
Speed round from the Turtle Bowl of Knowledge. Question 1. How many deer are hunted in a year in Iowa from Mr. Schmidt's class? Around 100,000. Next question. How much water is in snow? Again, Mr. Schmidt's class. About 10 inches of snow equals 1 inch of water. Depends on how heavy or light the snow is. Next question. How tall can grass grow? Well, it depends on what kind of grass, right? Grass in our yard, maybe like 18 to 24 inches. A tall grass prairie, up to 8 feet. Big blue stem, compass plants, those are some plants that you could find here in Jefferson County in some of our prairies. 8 feet tall. Speed round complete.
Oh, you want another question? All right, here we go. How many varieties or species of snakes are in Iowa? Well, according to herpnet.net, which you should look it up if you want to learn all sorts of cool things about herpetology in Iowa, they say 28 different species of snakes. They also say in total we have 46 species of reptiles in Iowa. So this is cool stuff. We have 13 different species of turtles. We have 5 lizards, nifty, huh? And we have 28 different species of snakes. So that question is for Dagan, and there's your answer. Once again, if you want to learn more, look it up at herpnet.net. HERPNET.net. All right, next question. Mary Boggs asks, how many teeth does a possum have? Now, I know she knows this answer because we kind of hinted at it in the video, but also because she's my sister and she knows these things.
She's one lucky lady.
She is. Oh, I'm one like, yeah. But I will show you something she's probably never seen, and that is the skull of a possum. Pretty cool. Now, it is an omnivore, which means it eats both plants and animals, and if you ever had one rooting around in your garbage can, you know it eat about anything. So, but it does have 50 teeth, which is more teeth than any other land mammal in North America, and that's pretty cool. So it's got the canines for tearing apart any kind of animal food, you know, and it also has smaller, a little bit, these aren't the flatter, a little bit flatter back teeth for chewing on vegetables. But I'm sure he's eat just about anything you put out for him. Ice cream, bacon, chips, all the good stuff. So, and also another sign, if you're just walking through the woods and you see a skull and you pick it up and you wonder, could this be a possum? Well, possums have that really cool handy dandy carrying case on the top of their skull. Pretty nifty. So thank you, Mary Boggs, for that question. And the answer is 50.
And the last question from our turtle bowl of knowledge is, what is the most interesting thing you have found in nature? I'm gonna add in the last year, okay? Mine's pretty awesome. In 2020, I found a mouse impaled on a thorn from a shrike. What's a shrike, you may ask? This is a shrike. Can you see that? That's another question. So the shrike is awesome. It has this really cool beak that you can see here, a hooked beak. But this is a songbird. So if you look at its feet, you can see it has songbird feet, but like a sharp, mean beak here, right? So songbird, that's actually a predator. And instead of using sharp talons, because it doesn't have that, or even that raptor-like beak, it's got to impale its food onto a thorn bush, so then it can do its job by eating it up from there. So while I was out this spring, I saw a mouse impaled on a thorn, kind of weird, kind of gruesome, but still really cool to see, you know, that part of nature in process. I've always heard about this, read about it, but had never seen it firsthand. So that was the coolest thing I saw in 2020. Toad, what was the coolest thing you saw in 2020?
Well, I saw a lot of cool things in 2020, but the one that I can remember the most because it was pretty recent is I was down at Lake Wapello and I saw a surf scoter. And a surf scoter is a duck that you do not normally find around here. As a matter of fact, let me show you a picture of a surf scoter. You ready?
We're ready.
Here it comes. Bum, 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 bum. Now, the surf scoter is, that's pretty cool looking, huh? Look at that beak. Unfortunately, I didn't see the male. This is the male. I saw the female. Or I should
Females are
say,
equally as awesome.
yes. Actually, it was actually the an immature. I saw an immature. Here it is right here. So, and I actually saw something called a white-winged scoter as well. So that was my thing I saw this year that was really awesome, cool. You normally don't see them around here. You'd have to go to the coast to see them, but here I got a chance to see a surf scoter. I just like to say the word, surf scoter.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Someday I'm hoping to see this guy here.
So you saw a surf scoter, cool, and I saw evidence of a shrike.
Indeed.
Very cool. Thank you for joining us on this kind of different version of Adventures with
Oh, Toad!
and Timberdoodle. We'll see you next time.
Still looking at my scoter.